It's just another Sharkman podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 144 of Just Another Sharkman podcast with me, Jack, and our own resident superhero, Fergus.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Yes, this is of course Just Another Sharkman podcast, one of your many sources for all the latest news, speculation and discussion of the Sharkman franchise.
And we've got some really exciting things on the podcast today, but we're going to
Absolutely.
start
straight in with
the trailer.
Brand new trailer.
Our
First trailer for
Sharkman 8.
Obviously, we had the title drop a few weeks ago. Sharkman: Journey to the Center of My Death,
which was, exciting because it was kind of a literary theme. It was nice to see them embracing those influences.
What do you mean?
Jules Verne, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
What is that, a book?
That's a novel, yeah.
Yeah, I read that.
Well, I haven't, but this is going to be a big one, and we
so
are so excited.
We were together when we saw it, and Jack knows I was...
You had to leave. You had to go breathe out the window.
Of these films, it's just, the trailer it's so perfect, it just gets me so pumped. I know, it's so good.
Obviously this is going to be a big one.
It's the big one.
It's the end of one arc.
Yep. Obviously it's the middle of that other arc.
And we'll obviously start a new arc as well, probably. But you can always just check my YouTube channel if you want to see me predict kind of what's going to happen later.
And there's also a video on my YouTube channel where it is the same video.
So maybe we should just start explaining the trailer a bit.
Let's just get into the trailer itself.
So it starts with a shot of an ocean.
Beautiful.
And a shark fin slowly moves across the camera.
And it's so, such that sort of iconic film, iconography.
Great reference.
Shark fin cutting through the water, reference to Sharkman 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what happens is the shark fin disappears, and then we cut, and we see a close-up of a shark's face.
Yeah, and it's the same shark, obviously.
Same shark. And we zoom out very tastefully, very slowly, and slowly we manage to realise that the shark is being held. Mm-hmm. Blackout SM8. We know what that is.
Sharkman.
It's
Sharkman.
8. So, I said that this trailer didn't need a lot of analysis. Yeah. And I think that's because it's really a back to basics trailer.
Yeah, it's really getting back to the roots of what Sharkman is as an idea, and what these films are about. They're about
the power.
And this character who is, he's an ordinary man whose arm was bitten off by a radioactive shark. And so he now has the power to magic sharks into his one remaining hand and throw them at people, with alarming speed.
And incredible grace. Yeah, and I think that what it's saying is let's get rid of all the noise.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of all these spin-off films.
Yeah, I mean, not get rid of them.
No,
obviously,
of
there's such an important part of the fabric of the franchise.
Absolutely, and we've had so many even in this month.
This month we had Enter the Shark Zone,
the Crab Prince prequel,
and we had Prawn Boy,
obviously
which was
really important,
such an important film for people with hay fever.
Yeah. But ultimately, we're here for the main films, aren't we?
Exactly. That's what the franchise is all about. It's about this main film series, the Sharkman film series.
Yeah.
And
the other films,
they are great.
They're like chapters in a book.
Yeah, they're like it's books. They're like a series of books. It's like one book. It's like, I guess the main films are chapters.
Right. So Sharkman 8 is chapter 8.
Yeah, and these other films are they're like footnotes.
They're like footnotes.
And they're great, they're important footnotes. You should always read the footnotes.
Yeah, but they're just in a smaller font.
Yeah.
Okay, Fergus. Yeah. What I really want to know is where do you think Sharkman 8 is going to rank in your top Sharkman mainline films?
Where do I think it's... Just going off this 20-second trailer.
Yeah.
Just going off this 20-second trailer, I think it's going to be in between Sharkman 3 and Sharkman 6.
And what do you think... What's the likelihood that you'll change your mind when you see it?
I don't think there's any likelihood of that. 2% at best, I think. This is an opinion I have decided I have. Yeah. Based on marketing information. And I'm going to go into the film and almost nothing that happens on screen during the film itself can affect that opinion.
Great, well, let's lock that in.
So, Jack, what are you looking forward to about the film?
Well, as you know, it's a 12A.
Yes.
And they're not afraid to go for that adult audience.
Yes, and I think that's something very important that they're taking into consideration, is that these films aren't just for kids, Yeah. They're for us.
They're for me.
Okay, that's interesting, because I feel like they're for me.
Well, yeah, but I always see them, kind of for me.
I feel like these films personally are mine.
Well, maybe it's both of us. Maybe it's for both of us.
Just us two.
Just us two.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. So, as I'm sure you've probably noticed, there is a voice missing from this episode.
Yeah, so Will is not going to be joining us again on the podcast.
Yes, he's not going to be with the podcast anymore.
And I'm sure you've seen the news and you've read our statement, which is on the website. But
we've made the decision that we're going to continue without him. Yeah. And I think that's been a hard decision.
As you know, I did the intro this time.
Yes, of course. And you did it very well, Jack.
Thanks, Ferg.
But obviously, the stuff Will was involved in was something we couldn't look past.
Yeah, Will systematically hunted down every cast and crew member of Dark Squid and murdered them in increasingly inventive ways. And, well, you can see where he's coming from. Dark Squid wasn't a very good film.
No, it was an incredibly disappointing film, you're right. But I think, and I don't want to get into this too much, Jack, but I think it needs to be said that even though the entertainment blockbuster Dark Squid was found to be personally disappointing by many of us, despite that fact, we shouldn't murder the people responsible.
But we will miss him. So, nice little thing for listeners is that they can actually go back through the last few weeks of podcasts and hear Will's emotional turmoil.
Yeah, you can really hear it come out, stuff we didn't pick up on at the time.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that...
There's little Easter eggs.
Yeah, definitely go listen to those episodes.
Those episodes are, of course, now behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Now, Ferg, you went to the Dino Bros premiere this week.
Yes, the UK premiere of the brand new Dino Bros film.
Dino Bros, They Are Your Friends.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of the title?
Well, tell me what you think of the title and I'll copy your opinion.
Right, well, I was uncertain about it at first, but now I really like it.
Now I really like it. Yes, me too. And I think it really speaks to like the whole, what the Sharkman film series are about. People say that the Sharkman studios are, this huge, out-of-hand, exploitative, eldritch horror of a film studio. But I think, really, these films are giving us friends, and so when you see a Sharkman film,
it's like paying to have friends.
Exactly, and what could be more wholesome than that?
Now, just a bit of context for everyone. Yep. Dino Bros were, of course, featured in issue 3 of the original comics. Yeah. And the Dino Bros were, of course, also introduced in the very first mid-movie sequence.
Yes, of course, it was the first of its kind. Obviously now, in every film that happened.
I know, imagine not having
exactly. This was for anyone who doesn't remember, this was the first film where you had, of course, in the middle of the film, while it's playing, the usher comes out with a small handheld monitor showing a different sequence.
And that's why you have to see the film twice.
Exactly.
You have to sit
if you haven't seen a film twice, you haven't seen it once.
No, absolutely.
And I think what's so great about the Sharkman films, and why I keep coming back for more, is what they really do well is, if nothing else, artistically, these films do communicate information about future projects.
Now, tell us who was there.
At the premiere, well, there was all the big names, all the big people. You had the guys from Shark Pod, Sam and Matt.
Great
You had Reg and Steve from Sharkman HQ. All the podcasters, all the content providers on YouTube.
I'm so jealous I couldn't come.
Yes, it's such a shame. You were at the doctor,
I was at the doctor's about my eyes.
Right, yeah.
As everyone knows, the Sharkman films use a different colour gradient to other films, so it makes it very difficult to watch another film for at least a month after you've seen it.
Yes.
Now, what that will do is, of course, if you go to see Harry Met Sally at the BFI, you'll just see a white screen.
Yeah.
Now, my doctor was saying I've kind of got some retinal damage from seeing too many Sharkman films.
Do you think this is going to stop you from watching Sharkman films in future?
Well, I'll just keep watching them and find out, Ferg.
Okay.
So, as we know, it's one of the fun ones, but give us a quick review.
Yeah, it was fun. It was quirky, it was good, and I enjoyed it.
And did you laugh?
Yes, well, I laughed when everyone else laughed.
Great, and I think that's the sign of a good director.
Absolutely, a really good director and a good film is all about making a whole audience of people feel the exact same things and have the exact same experience as dictated by the film.
Absolutely. Who directed it?
I don't know, but I think these, I don't like these films where
you have different opinions.
Where people have different opinions and feel different things.
You have to talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, a great film is one where you don't have anything to talk about afterwards. Yeah.
You just stream single file out of the cinema, get in your car and go home.
Yes.
Because the sign of a good director is consensus.
Consensus, absolutely. People shouldn't have different opinions about films.
And I agree.
This has been Just Another Sharkman podcast with Jack and Fergus. Thanks for listening, and tune in again for more Sharkman news tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. And the day after that.